can send information to our router, and our router is replying to it. What we use for that is we're going to go to our command prompt. If you don't know how to access it, you can go to the run box and type CMD, or Windows 7 people can go command prompt in the search bar, click that. Windows XP guys, it'll be in all programs. I haven't used XP for ages, but accessories, then yeah, command prompt. It'll be the same for XP. It's the same for Vista as well. So once we're here, what we want to do is basically we can see the information we saw in network information, you know, the information here through there by typing ipconfig, and we get that information, same information here, there, not as in depth here. If we wanted to do that, we can do ipconfig/all. This will give us the same information as we are seeing here, just in a different format. Okay, so what we want to do is, our default gateway is 192.168.0.1, that's the IP address of it. What we're going to do is we are going to ping 192.168.0.1. What ping is a network tool, protocol, ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, and ping stands for Packet Internetwork Groper. It sends some information, small amounts of information, to a device. The device will reply. That means you've got connectivity to that device using ping. Obviously, firewalls, for people who don't know, a firewall it can exist on a router or a host that may disallow the use of ping, may block that protocol. So be careful. Don't always assume because you can't ping it that you can't access it. It may have a web server on it where you can access a web page, but won't allow ping connections. So what my router does, so I'm going to show you what happens when we ping our router. So as we're seeing, we're getting a reply from our router, reply from 192.168.0.1. We sent 32 bytes of information. It took 1 millisecond for that information to reach the router and come back to us. The time to live, it was 255. The time to live, I believe, means how many hops the information will take before it expires, before the packet dies, basically. So we sent 32 bytes of information 4 times. By default, that's what ping does. And we got 1, 2, 1, 1. So 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond, 1 millisecond. So basically, we've got connection to our router through ping. What you may want to do, you know, for extensive monitoring, is you can ping continuously to that device to check that the network, its network functionality is okay. You know, you might want to check if it's intermittent. Again, take note that if you are seeing intermittent connection, it might not be the router, it might not be the other device, it may be you. Maybe your wireless card is not functioning properly. The way you'd verify this, okay, let me show you the basics first. The ping 192.168.0.1 minus T. Notice the minus T at the end. This is going to ping continuously. So we're seeing a stable connection. You know, for wireless connection, this is a very stable connection. Normally you might see where cases of interference, I say, yeah, there you go, look, a piece of interference there. It spikes because it took longer to get to the router, for the router to process it and send it back to us. You know, with a wireless connection, you may experience this because of interference. Copper cables, if you're hardwired, are less susceptible to interference than what a wireless connection would be. So we're just going to stop that now by pressing Control and C on our keyboard, and we get a summary result here. So this is good because we sent 48 and received 48. If you're running this for a long time, you might, you know, it'd be stupid to go through looking through where the connection was dropped. So you can see if the connection was dropped. It will say lost packets. typically I would over sort of a couple of hours period with a wireless connection, I would see a 1%, perhaps a 1% loss. Depending on experience, you may never see loss. If you are hardwired with a cable, my expected result would be to never see loss. If you did see loss, you've got some interference on the cable, or your router's not functioning properly, or alternatively your own network card inside your computer is not functioning properly. So now we've established connection to our router, we know we've got connection to our router. Have we got connection to the internet? Well, we know we have, because we can look here and see. But again, I told you that that's not always true. So how do we see if we've got connection to the internet? Well, the way that I would do it is I would ping an internet address. So a well-known internet address that is probably not going to have much downtime, which is, let's take for instance Google. Ping google.co.uk. We can ping Google and see if we've got connection to it. There you go, we've got connection to it. So if you were continuously monitoring Google, if you continuously pinged it, how would you, and you had an outage, you had packet loss, you didn't have a reply. By the way, if you didn't get a reply, you would have the message request timed out or destination host unreachable. There are a few other messages, but the gist is that if you get a message aside from reply from that address, Google, its IP address, you haven't got connection to it. So yeah, back to how would you verify that it's not your internet connection that's down? Well, you'd ping another address, bbc.co.uk. So basically, if you get packet loss from Google, you're not seeing a reply from Google, but you get a reply from BBC, your internet line's still up because you can get to BBC, and BBC is externally located from you. So we can just deduce from that Google's down. Okay, so how would so if you do get request timed out and your internet line is down, what can you do about it? Well, the first port of call is to obviously check that your router's on. Check that you've got connection to your router. Ping 192.168.0.1. Yep, that's on. Then go to the router. On the front of the router you'll have lights, some LED lights. Most routers have LED lights that tell you status. Link, blah blah blah, whatever. You should have one for internet line. Look in the manual; it'll tell you which one. See if that light's on. If it's on, then there may be a line there, but you might not have internet connectivity. So the next step you go to is you ring your ISP, your internet service provider, and ask, what the hell's going on? I'm paying for a service, I'm not getting it. And you'll have some. You'll be loaded with some knowledge of what they're going to ask you. They're probably going to ask you to do some things that I've just done here. They're going to ask you to verify the connection, is it on, blah blah blah. It's quite annoying after a while, because you can't just say to them, oh, it's working, I've tested it. They want you to test it before they'll go any further. So that brings me to the end of my network troubleshooting video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative for you. Any feedback, please leave a comment, or a question, just leave a comment or inbox me. Thank you very much.